My name is Caroline Ashton, and this is my informative speech. These are my parents and 3 of my friends. And these are my cards. It is a well-known fact that what we eat greatly affects our bodies. If we smoke, drink, and eat lots of food that is bad for us, we have a greater chance of getting sick and dying sooner. I assume and hope that if there are steps we can take to be healthier and live longer, that we would take those steps. Switching to a vegetarian diet is one of those measures we can take to live longer and overall have a healthier life. I have been vegetarian for 3 years now, and in this time I have lost weight, felt more awake, eaten healthier foods, and I've taken time to learn how to make foods that are tasty and nutritious for my body. There are 3 important factors that support switching to a vegetarian diet. These points are that adopting a vegetarian diet is very beneficial to your body. Meat can be bad for the environment, and for the most part, vegetarians live a cruelty-free lifestyle. Adopting a vegetarian diet can be very beneficial to your body. Vegetarians live longer on average than meat eaters. A study by Loma Linda University has shown that on average, vegetarian women live 6.1 years longer than women who ate meat, and vegetarian men lived 9.5 years longer than men who ate meat. An Oxford study said that putting global dietary guidelines in place would prevent 5.1 million deaths a year. A total vegetarian diet would prevent 7.3 million deaths, and 8.1 million deaths for a vegan diet. The New York Daily News says that the University of Oxford found that the risk of hospitalization or death from heart disease is 32% lower for vegetarians than their counterparts. Meat can also be very harmful to your body. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, or the IARC, has labeled processed meat such as bacon, salami, hot dogs, sausages, and ham as Group 1 classification, or directly linked to causing cancer. Red meat, such as beef, pork, and lamb, is 2A classification, or probably causes cancer. Bustle says that vegetarians were about 40% less likely to develop cancer compared to meat eaters. Harvard discovered that adolescents eating 1 serving of red meat a day had a 22% higher chance of developing premenopausal breast cancer and 13% higher chance for breast cancer for adults eating that same amount of red meat a day. The American Diabetes Association said that eating high amounts of animal protein greatly increased your risk for developing diabetes by 22%. Meat is also filled with saturated fat, which has been directly linked to cognitive degeneration, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and breast cancer. Mass producers of meat also pump cattle full of growth hormones, which causes them to grow at an abnormal rate that is convenient for the farmers. When you eat those animals, you are also eating those hormones, which has been linked to causing fast developmental growth in recent years. Animals also receive 70% of the antibiotics produced by the U.S. When you eat those animals, you are also eating the antibiotics left in those animal systems, which makes you slowly resistant to the antibiotics you take when you get sick. Most food poisoning also comes from meat that has not been cooked correctly or from contaminated food. The Consumer Reports says that 90% of raw chicken sold in grocery stores has been contaminated by fecal matter. This happens during processing and slaughter. Taking meat out of your daily diet not only helps your body, but it also greatly affects the world around you. 70% of the grain that is grown in America is given to farm animals. If we stop eating animals, this number greatly reduces, and we are able to give that extra grain to people across the world who are going hungry. Choose Veg says that nearly 80% of land deforested in the Amazon is now used for a cattle pasture. Choose Veg also says that to produce 1 pound of animal protein versus 1 pound of soy protein, it takes 12 times as much land, 13 times as much fossil fuel, and 15 times as much water. Producing 1 pound of potatoes takes around 141 pounds of water, while producing 1 pound of beef takes over 20,000 pounds of water. Oxford says that a global dietary change could save $700 to $1,000 billion annually on healthcare, and condensed gas emissions from greenhouses due to total eating change could save $570 billion a year. As you see, a vegetarian diet not only helps yourself, but it also helps the environment around you. However, being vegetarian is not only what you eat, but it is also what you purchase. For the most part, vegetarians live a cruelty-free lifestyle. Vegetarians do not buy or wear animal products along with their meat-free diet. This includes no leather, fur, suede, or reptile skin. Many high-end brands such as Coach, Prada, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and countless others use reptile skin for handbags and wallets, and they also use fur for coats and shoes. Many people do not think that wearing fur really hurts the animals. In fact, many fur farms kill and mutilate animals in order to get not only sheepskin and fur, but also exotic animal fur. Vegetarians also try and stick to free-range eggs as well. Chicken farms are some of the most cruel factory farms. Most chicken farms, as well as other factory farms, are cruel enough to warrant animal cruelty charges if dogs or cats were staying in there instead of farm animals. Farm hands often mutilate birds in order for them to be easier to handle and manage. Birds stay in cages about 67 to 76 square inches. Keep in mind that a regular sheet of paper is 94 square inches. They are many times unable to move, and over time their bones deteriorate and they become paralyzed. Birds are often left to rot in cages if they die alongside the live birds. My mom told me a story that she visited a chicken farm when she was working for her previous job, and the farmers often pumped the chickens full of hormones till they were producing 3 to 4 eggs a day. Normally, chickens produce 1 egg a day. They did this until the chickens died, and after they died, they were being sold to Campbell's Soup. People all across the country were eating these excess hormones, and that has been linked to developmental growth in recent years. While vegetarians usually eat eggs, they try to stick to cruelty-free farms. This can also be applied to milk, cheese, yogurt, and other dairy products. The factors that I have mentioned are just a few of the benefits of switching your diet. Vegetarianism is growing in popularity because people are realizing the numerous health benefits. Around 8 million people in the US are vegetarian, and that number is steadily growing. However, vegetarianism is not just about your diet, but it is a lifestyle. It takes effort and focus to eat healthier and to be conscious of not only what you put in your body, but also what you put on your body. Being a vegetarian drastically helps you live healthier and longer, and is just one step towards living a happier, healthier, and better life.
Good.